Okay, General Streamer Products video training series. What we're going to do is calibrate the pH. Now, calibrating pH, just like connectivity, when you mostly do in the one area, once you get it up and running, a 1-point calibration just fine tunes it a little bit. But just like connectivity, you're really only setting 1 point. You're not giving it, and unlike connectivity, you need a slope. You need to know, because it goes both sides, you go from 0 to 14. Or I'm sorry, 7 to 14 or 7 to 0, you want to give it that slope, how fast you want it to ramp up. So doing a 2-point calibration, almost imperative with the pH, you gotta do it, okay? We're gonna do a 2-point calibration really fast, so I got myself a couple of cups here. Knock that down and out of the way. And I got myself some solutions. So you want to pick, grab a 4, 7, and a 10. You do want to pick what side of the scale ranges you normally work on. Now, whether it comes in acidic, which is more on the 4 side, or if you come in on the caustic side, if it's above 7, you want to do a calibration to 10, which would typically be a blue like this, a 7, which would be a green or a yellowish green, and the acidic is usually a pinkish red like that. So in this case, I'm going to calibrate for the 7 and the 10. The 7 and the 10, most of the time, that way, even pool applications, you typically only feed in uric acid. You're always trying to bring it down, because when the people get in the little pool and stuff, it's always bringing up the conductivity, you know, it's not going to bring, or pH, it's not going to bring it down. So I'm going to open this up. This buffer, remember the yellow buffer is 7. And then you're going to pour enough in there to hit the bottom of the electrode. And this one here, the blue one, is 10. Okay, so that should be enough. Now, again, just like in the connectivity version, you saw that I modified a T. I modified the T for a reason, because I don't want it, and this is just water, not going to hurt nothing. And as a matter of fact, these are really not going to hurt anything. They're only calibrated to it. It's not like they're sending you acid in the system. So you don't want the electrode hitting the bottom. That's why I modified this T, and I can put it into my beakers, and I can do what I need to on that. You see, this is also the temperature portion of this sensor, is that little rod that's on there. So, okay, what I want to do, now that I have an open air too, you can see that it fails to almost 7. It's going to fail to neutral. When it comes out of the water and everything, it doesn't want to try to feed acid and everything, or if the line drains and now it's exposed to air, it doesn't want to feed acid or caustic, so it fails to 7. So a lot of times when it sticks there, you have a wiring diagram, you have a wiring problem or something, or the probe is broken. So what we're going to do, calibration, enter, pH, enter, and then we're going to do calibrate. But we're going to do a 2-point buffer solution. So we're going to come down here, 2-point. They also do have a 3-point. Very tricky, but you can do it. You don't really have to. So 2-point buffer solution, disable controls. The first buffer value of 7, so I'm going to stick it in the 7 here. I'm going to hit yes, remove and put it into the buffer, and it should stabilize itself. Don't touch it, let it go ahead and stabilize. This is why you do want to remove them from the line when it's moving through there. You can't really do the buffer solutions anyways, but I'm going to wait for it to stabilize. Good. Okay, so now it's asking for the second buffer solution, which we know is 10. Okay, we're going to hit the check. It's going to ask me to rinse it. Once I have just some regular water here, I'm going to rinse it real quick. And then I'm going to put it in the 10. I'll just finger around that. It's in the 10. And go ahead and let it do its thing again. Remember, stabilization is very, very key. If you leave it in line and you just take a sample and you say, okay, it's 7 or whatever it's going to be, let it stabilize itself. If you force the calibration, it's going to pick at that moment what it thinks it is and make it say what you tell it to say. So it doesn't really do it well. That's why I do recommend always removing it. Even if you're doing a 1 point, remove it from the system, make it stabilize, put it in this cup, it'll stabilize a lot better. Your gain and your offset, calibration done. So right now it's a 10, 1001 is what it's gonna say. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here. We know that the other cup is 7. I'm gonna rinse it in some water real quick. I'm gonna put it in the 7 solution. It's coming down 697, 703, 704. Okay, looks like we're doing pretty well. So that is how we do a 2-point calibration.